you want some cream?
I'll take a little. Just a wee bit.
Just a wee
Little cloud.
some drops.
Yes. Beautiful, thank you.
MC, can you pour me some from the Leaning Tower of...
Is that the Ethiopian one?
This is a super interesting shot, I'd like to say. How long does it take us to get our coffee? A million years.
Might be on the camera. Okay.
That's yours.
So you're locked in.
Like a table?
It's like a semi-round circle, but not.
Yeah.
And so someone
And then they put the guests in the middle and we
Yeah.
all talk at them. That would be Steph, I guess.
Yeah.
So, Stephanie.
We didn't make any talking points. Well, we were going to kind of talk about how Ottawa came to be part of the squad.
Okay.
So you guys kind of all have a background and...
We know each other.
Yeah. So you guys talk amongst yourself about how you know each other.
How
Starts
do we
with Steph.
Well played.
How do we know each other? Well, okay. I've known Yuli since the dawn of time, possibly. Also called high school.
Yeah, let's go in order, actually. That's funny.
Yeah. Let's start in order and then get to...
So that happened first.
yeah.
Spanish
class in high
Spanish
school.
class.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
What were,
Grade-
your, what were your Spanish names?
11. Mine was awful. You didn't make fun of mine, I'm pretty sure.
Because it doesn't translate.
Sorry, you had Spanish names?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't have
Juliana?
The teacher.
Juliana.
Mine was awful, and I think I used to really irritate
Stephanie.
Yuli. Yeah, so I think she
Stephanie?
called me that
What
for
would the
years.
Emma be in Spanish? Hama?
I don't even want to guess.
I don't want to guess. I feel like we're going to offend someone. Let's move away from this topic before we offend
Okay,
someone.
so Spanish class.
So
That's where you
Spanish
guys
class.
met.
So fast forward to college and university.
Yeah, I moved to Ottawa in like 2003, and you were like came the year after or something like that. We were roommates for a couple years, and then you moved here, like in 2000. When did you move here?
2011.
2011, and then you guys hooked up and started.
We met each other on Twitter.
Yeah, so
On
we
Twitter.
met.
Everyone asked, and we're like, it was Twitter.
Hey, I'm married who I met on the internet.
Yeah.
So,
My journal.
don't
Not a bad
worry.
thing. It's a good
No,
thing.
not at all. We just like literally like known each other for like before the internet.
half our time.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you guys started doing like amazing stuff with Mackerel Food Squad, and I had known MC and Kelly for a couple years through other people in Ottawa, and I was like, I know the perfect people in Ottawa to be involved with this, and I was right. Because here we are. Yeah. So that's sort of, I honestly like, Kelly and MC are the ones who really run it. I sort of like, my job was to like bring them together and then stand back and like accept credit for things I don't really do.
You're like,
But
fighters like you doing that.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, so basically I was more like the link that brought like these guys and these guys together.
Yeah, because I met you like twice, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Briefly.
I met you guys last night.
Yeah.
So what's the food scene like in Ottawa?
Crazy.
We were actually just talking about this on the way over here, and we think that the cool thing about Ottawa is that it's such a new food scene, and that it makes it very cooperative instead of competitive. We were just talking about, there's a restaurant in Ottawa called the Manx, like Yuli knows it for sure.
Yeah, they've been
very
very
famous.
things for a long time.
They're very well known, and we're talking about, is it the Manx that Kitchissippi does?
Yeah, there's a new brewery, newish I guess, in Ottawa called Kitchissippi Brewing Company, and
Very good.
they make, for example, the Manx's Stock Ale, which I had a couple days ago, which
Yeah, it
was
was
amazing. I'm not a huge beer drinker, but this was so good.
Okay.
No, it's a lot of like chefs helping each other.
And that's just it, is it's like, it's very cooperative versus competitive, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Ottawa's really desperate to like shop local and be local and support local because it hasn't been a big thing. So
and definitely like to combine efforts instead
Yeah.
of like competing against each other. People want to like pool their resources and like come together.
And like this summer was the first summer that the city issued like 42 permits for food trucks.
Yeah.
Which we weren't. Ottawa was really not a food truck city before, and we wanted to. The bylaws were kind of funny, and but this year they really like rolled out the carpet for different kinds of cuisines and trucks and carts. And then I think it was yesterday Or today?
It's right now.
Oh, it's right now.
Oh.
We're missing it. But
we're
it's
missing it.
a food truck rally like you had in Toronto recently,
Yeah.
right? And it's today. It was too bad we're missing it. But apparently people showed up and had to leave because it was actually too well attended.
Yeah,
So,
like there's
yeah.
a couple food trucks. Like one of
They
them,
ran out of food.
Dosa was supposed to be open for dinner. They're open for dinners. They're not. They have no food. They were like, sorry guys, food truck. We sold out at the food truck rally. We're not going to be open
when we
tonight.
were at Ostruck, I don't think we saw any of the Ottawa trucks, did we?
Go.
There were a few.
Who was there? Somebody's there.
Dragons?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know.
There
There
was
was a couple.
Somebody was there. I just don't remember.
You know
who it
what? There were
was.
so many, and it was raining.
Oh, yeah.
there was so
Yeah, that
many
weekend was
different-
shitty.
Yeah, it was really bad.
It was raining in Ottawa as well.
Yeah.
No, it's
It was
beautiful
raining
weekend in
everywhere.
Ottawa right now, and it's like they can't even keep up with the demand and how hungry
Yeah.
we are. For
It just. I'm excited about the free chicken. Whatever. That's awesome. So the food truck. Yeah, I think we're back. So the food truck thing, they issued like 42 new food truck permits in Ottawa, and there's a whole bunch of new food trucks. But that's a good example of the cooperative thing. So all of them are serving Kitchissippi Beer's sodas. So Kitchissippi Beer makes a brand called Harvey and Vern's, and they're like cream soda and ginger beer.
Yes.
And all of the
Very
food
delicious.
trucks are serving those sodas.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So and coffee shops and retail places, and like it's super cooperative, and like it's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think the big thing that like I didn't realize, because you always hear people harping on like, oh, Ottawa's so boring and there's nothing to do there. So when I kind of like
Really?
read-
People say that?
I've never heard that. No one's ever said that to me.
So I think the big thing that like when you guys were coming on, I was like, there's a food scene.
Oh, come on.
What are they gonna write about?
I think
No, I know like
yeah.
obviously there would be something to eat there.
I
but
think
you know
And
what
the
I
thing
mean?
about Ottawa is that I think it's unassuming.
Yeah.
And I
And
also
yeah.
think you would have been right up to about 3 years ago.
Yeah, I agree.
Whoa,
I
that's
think
why
it's
I
changed
left.
a lot.
It just, and I feel like there's a lot of younger chefs that have suddenly gotten fame through like Top Chef Canada or
Yeah.
something like that, and then suddenly people are like just very good foodies are suddenly very interested in
Yeah, and I
what
think
chefs are doing, and it's
like that might be a totally ignorant statement to make, but
It's not, at least until recently, not totally incorrect. I think like Ottawa is kind of a town that plays it safe a little bit, but I really think that is changing.
Well, we were kind of at some point we were kind of making fun of it because we got like there was like the cupcake craze or whatever, and it was like Ottawa was always like we were like a couple years behind. So like it'd be like New York's doing cupcakes, then it'd be like Toronto's doing
wait,
cupcakes, and then we'd be like
You know
2
what
years
I
later
saw today
Ottawa would be like
at-
cupcake.
you know what I saw today at Dark Horse, a crownie, which I had never heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With how those
I was like, really? Like, now we're behind two things. I have to catch up
not
to
It's
the brownie.
a cookie brownie.
what? I only know
I have
about
a picture.
We do have cronuts though.
No,
I am not.
Boco's not making them anymore.
Oh really?
This is they're done. There's no more cronuts. So somebody in Ottawa
We
needs to
had
pick
them.
up the cronut like.
Yeah. There's a niche to be filled.
Why I
with
can't believe we
cronuts.
just said the words cronut torch. Somebody needs
Did
to
they
change.
stop after
Somebody
the
needs to
whole,
change their
like-
Twitter name immediately to
Cronut
Cronut Torch.
Did they stop after the whole cronut burger fiasco?
No, I think it's just like honestly,
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
and
it
I
is.
think that
And
the
they're not
demand
making
wasn't
profit.
high enough for people to go.
To be honest, like I had the OG
There's a-
cronut in New York.
Yeah.
And, like it's good, but it's not. I waited for 4 hours.
I remember
That's
you were
not-
like, you got the last one though,
yeah,
didn't you?
yeah, and it like it's not 4 hours worthy good.
Nothing
No.
is 4 hours. There's
Not a thing on earth.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
like they have a s'more that we got as well, which it's a
That
frozen
looks good.
s'more.
I
That
remember
sounds
that.
amazing.
And it was like torched in front of you, and that was like
Yeah.
that's baller. But I will give people in New York a little tip. So when they finally open, and then you know if you wait a little bit, they will let people just off the street go in for coffee. So if you go in just a little bit after 10 and be like, oh, I'm just here to get coffee, you can go into the cronut line.
Oh,
Dun, dun, dun.
that's cheating.
Life hack.
It's totally
Life hack.
cheating, but like,
Life hack.
That's food hack. Do it.
yeah.
Don't
I don't
waste 4
think
hours
people
of your
realize
life.
it, like,
Can I have
because there were some people freaking
Fun
out,
thing.
and I'm like, I totally would have done that if I knew I could do that. Not have gotten here at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, and then Ottawa. So now, and we're probably behind again, right? And so now the tacos.
Oh yeah, tacos are
So the tacos in
year.
Ottawa right now are like a huge thing.
Yes.
So like a whole bunch of taco places are opening, and they're just opening more taco places.
Toronto's already reached peak taco.
Right.
Yeah,
That's gonna be us
peak
next
taco
year.
season.
There's a whole bunch of places. There was like a whole bunch of Korean taco places that were like good, but they're gone. Like they
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
gone.
It's so fickle.
And that's just it is again like, unfortunately Ottawa's then again like a year behind
yeah,
on that
season
trend.
behind.
So that's not to say that like I'm talking trendy food right now. Like we're a year behind on the trendy food, but that's not counted. Like I'm not talking about the chefs that are doing amazing things like on a day-to-day basis that isn't food trend related. So. And the good thing about Ottawa is like there's lots of green space and there's lots of farms and lots of ability to shop local and to like organic and like really close to Ottawa. So like people are getting their meat from farms that are like 10 kilometers from Ottawa.
I had
and, like,
a
things like
discussion
that,
with a friend who was not a foodie, and she was like, I really wanted to try that farm team cookhouse, and I was like,
Yeah.
And like, no.
We had
or it was like the service is not good.
not
the food's not
endorsed
good.
by Faculty
No.
Squad.
But-
Not Fat Girl Food Squad Pro.
No, also they're food truck haters, so that's another story.
Yeah, they have a shit fit when food trucks happen. They were like, "You're stealing our business." I'm like, everyone else is
here
cooperating.
said that too.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people were
doesn't
lobbying
make
against it.
They were the only people. Everyone else was like, "Yeah, food trucks." Even like
Also,
restaurants.
this was a food truck that they were complaining about that was open 3 hours a day, Monday to Friday,
Yeah.
from 11 to 3.
and they were stealing.
They were just
the
being
business.
bitter, but basically I told this girl, she's like, oh, I really wanted to check it out because apparently everything's local. I'm like, if you go to any local restaurant, it's all local what they serve. It's just they just like don't crow about it and don't make a big deal out of it. But
Most restaurants you go to,
chefs
all
would much
of their,
prefer to use local stuff.
When we interview chefs and we're like, oh, so you like grow the herbs here and da da da, and they look at us like, yeah, of course, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's almost
Yeah,
expected.
like most of the chefs that we interview, they try and have like a bread program in-house, a meat program in-house.
Yeah.
They try and get all of their like fish from like, somewhere that's like pretty local.
Yeah.
They try and do all of this local and sustainable and like
and that's like become the default for good chefs in restaurants. So I think that
That's one of the
It's easy to
advantages
find now.
too of Ottawa not being like really big is that a lot of restaurants will then do like barter programs. So like you'll have somewhere like Whale's Bone, which is a seafood place, and they'll get meat from like Murray Street or like somewhere, and they'll like trade off on like, we're gonna give you oysters for your dish that you're doing, and you can give us like pork for the dish that we're doing, and like they can trade off and like.
So yeah, like because Ottawa is the biggest small town that we call it, because of that collaboration, it also feels like when you're in the food scene, it's very like everybody knows each other.
It's very
and,
inviting.
yeah, it's inviting and it's friendly, and I think the friendly aspect of it is huge.
Well, and even as a food blogger, there's not as much of the like competitive like edge to it. So like we're a new food blog, and some part of me was like, oh no, like people are gonna hate us. We're new. This niche is like already been cornered. What are we doing? Although like nobody's cornered the Fat Girl Food Squad niche. Let's be real.
no,
but like
we've got this.
Yeah, we got it. This is it. But like we had our event in Ottawa, Toothsome, and like one of the other food bloggers, Foodie Prince, like showed up and like he tweeted they tweeted about it, and like they came to the event and like Instagram photos, and like there's a girl who does a whole bunch of this street food stuff, Street Food Ottawa. I tweeted at her yesterday. I was like, we're not gonna make the food truck rally. Fat Girl Food Squad's gonna be here. Eat twice as much for us. She's like, you'll be missed. You're here in spirit. Like it's not competitive. People want to help
it's like
each other.
foodies founding each other. They're like,
yeah,
oh, you like food too?
Yeah. And it's like, oh wait, you like Ottawa and you like food? Like, let's do this. No, it's good.
Yeah. See, and I think that's kind of, you were talking last night about how like Fat Girl Food Squad was very like not inclusive. It was very welcoming and
for
sure.
I find that like if you have a blog or a movement and whatever that is so specific, it's easy for whatever it is to be kind of like a little full of itself or on its high horse or
well, like if you found your niche to be like, this is our niche, and never
it's
go
like everyone else is wrong. No, it's
or to like limit your membership to a certain kind of person. Which I think it's amazing that Fat Girl Food Squad does not do that.
We have dudes.
We have dudes.
Two dudes.
Skinny dudes.
There are skinny dudes.
I like food and
that's all.
So, there you go.
That's all you need.
Oh. You can can be anybody.
Yeah.
You can
As
do
long
it.
as you agree.
Yeah.
Like, that's, yeah.
One thing I do think that Fat Girl Food Squad has cornered, and I'm gonna like high horse it a little bit because I think that like
It is nice.
the good thing is that, and I like think it maybe wasn't on purpose. I don't know. Maybe it was. I think it kind of has to be. I'll get to my point. I promise. Is that there is a level of politicalness. Like we have obviously some kind of political, or there's a statement. Like we're called Fat Girl Food Squad.
And this was not anything Emma and I ever for a second thought about
No.
when we started it.
No.
But it's just a logical extension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just
Well, it's
makes
kind of
sense.
like branches off social justice and just like, it's not as militant, but it's definitely an integral part of it. I think that a lot of, because it's such a novel idea to pair your unrepentant love of food with
Body
body
positivity.
positivity, whatever the body is. So I think that because it's such a novel concept for a lot of people, that it's easy to kind of go on rants because
Yeah.
people are like, oh yeah.
Especially as girls,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the times, a lot of the articles for like specifically Looking Good Girl, like we try to speak, I want to say, from the heart and things that we've experienced and things.
They're all very personal.
Yeah.
Very well, like because Kelly has written a bunch of articles that are very personal, and like you guys both have also, and I think that's like, I think that must be like almost a relief for a lot of people to read like about such similar experiences that like many people have to deal with, whether it's like a health thing or just like a shopping thing or a day-to-day reality kind of thing. It's nice to put those thoughts
Like
out there.
I tweeted today, I was like, it's like even something as simple as being able to go. Like I'm really glad we're in Toronto because we got to go shopping because Ottawa's plus size shopping scene is.
Quasi non-existent.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, we're in Toronto. We need to go shopping, and like we showed up and we like
$200 later.
in a 1 hour like blew $300 because we were like
So
clothes because you can't. That doesn't exist, and it's like little things that everyone experiences, and then you don't like to have a blog like Fat Girl Food Squad that's it's a foodie blog, but it's like a foodie.
it's a lifestyle blog
fat
also, too.
feminism
Yeah.
blog kind of all rolled into one
And we're
little.
so happy that that's what it is now, but that's not what we ever thought.
But at the same time, because you guys started out hashtagging Fat Girl Food Squad as like a joke, right? But the joke had some kind of a satire element of like, we're fat and we like food on some level.
The first picture was me just with a cheese head on, getting ready for work.
I remember that picture.
Being like,
actually.
Fat Girl Food Squad,
Gotta call
in to my boss, being like, I got a cheese head, Fat Girl Food Squad.
Lol, that's hilarious.
Yes.
Did our waitress at the restaurant today have a French accent? I don't think she did.
It's rolling.
What were you saying, Emma?
I'm always telling a great
You're
story.
talking about the cheese heads
the
and
cheese
taking
head.
things seriously.
And the hashtag.
So basically, I just like don't take things too seriously, and I wanted people when they were reading the blog, and I think when we were talking about it, to not take themselves so seriously, like with their food, with their bodies, like enjoy themselves, just enjoy everything about their lives, their bodies, their food.
And that's the thing, like, I think that the like note that we're striking is very much like, yes, it's not political in terms of like, just kind of like issue based, but also in a very light and positive way.
Yeah.
We're not like ranting, bitching on the
No,
website.
and
It's
even
still,
all the like Looking Good Girl ones that are personal and may have like stuff about like your tomboy one or like the bikini body one and things that are dealing with insecurities and with problems, all have like happy endings, so to speak, and like are positive, and they're like, this is how I feel, but like, it's not taking itself so seriously.
Because honestly, like, if I want to feel bad about my body, I can just turn on the TV and I don't need to vlog for it.
That wasn't positive at all.
And we don't need a vlog for that, so this is way more fun.
I feel like that's why so many people like relate to the blog because they read the stories, like whether it be our food posts or whether it be the Looking Good Girl posts or whether it be anything, and they're like, this is so awesome.
Sometimes you get people at just the name.
Yeah.
And like, because it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, this is like an issue that sounds fun, and you have a funny name, so obviously you're not like
I legit had
crazy
somebody
militant.
hesitate to introduce me as a writer from Fat Girl Food Squad. He was like, she writes for and I was like, Fat Girl Food Squad. He's like, I don't want to say it. I was like, dude, I was like,
It's not like
relax.
it's the Vagina Vulva Club.
Even then, like, just say it. It's like that's like
not
an
like an
anatomy.
F
Say
word, it's not-
vagina.
that
But
is
it's
not
like,
the wrong F
but
word.
it's a word that like
Yeah.
people hold as
Oh,
derogatory.
for sure.
And to,
Yeah.
and to say it is to call is to like.
But it's
be
like I
offensive.
said. It's like I said on the radio. It's like we're gonna go ahead and just call ourselves fat and get it out of the way,
Yeah.
and then let's actually talk about something. Because like
We're
don't
over
wanna
it.
talk.
It's not a big deal.
No.
We're fat. We
Yeah.
got it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. Can handle that.
it's okay.
You can move on with your day.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, and I have a really good friend of mine where I'd always call I'm like, I'm fat, whatever, and he's like, don't do that. That's really like derogatory to yourself. And I'm like, there's fat here.
Yeah, it's like we were talking. Yeah, we were talking. And it's like, if you call yourself fat in a positive way, and someone's like, oh no, you're not fat. And it's like, no, I am. I'm saying that fat is not a bad thing.
Yeah,
It's like,
I'm saying that your response doesn't have to be, oh no, oh my god, don't say that, you're not. Like,
Yeah.
no,
Yes,
that's
I
okay,
am, but
I
that's
am.
okay.
I am, and
Yeah.
it's okay that I am.
But
Yeah,
there's always that process of when you're like reclaiming a word of like making people adjust to that new concept of it, and I think that if any like if Fat Girl Food Squad has any challenge, it's probably that to like
Yeah.
get people used to that.
Other people
term.
are uncomfortable with the word.
Exactly.
We are not
Exactly.
uncomfortable.
Okay, well, at first, I'm sorry, when I introduced myself from a woman at the Globe and Mail, it was really hard to say I'm from Fat Girl Food Squad.
I think the more you say it,
This was our first thing that we were going out as like just Fat Girl Food Squad, and the people that were there were like,
was that?
it was like a photographer and a writer from the financial section
Yes.
of the Globe and Mail, and I was like,
What you're
I write for Fat Girl
What was
Food
this for?
Squad. It was for a restaurant.
Yeah, and it
Wage
was.
work.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I was there by myself too, so I was like,
I couldn't be there.
well, I think they're claiming like we're not 100% comfortable. Like we're trying.
we just didn't know
It's
for
like-
this piece how we got invited. Like,
We're like,
oh, that's the thing, because I like showed up and there was like the Globe and Mail was there and like a whole bunch of actually like
Toronto Life and
Toronto
like
Life.
these were like
Wow.
big deal.
and they were like, who do you write for? And you're like, Fat Girl.
Fat Girl Food
So like, but I feel like the blog could have been named anything at that point. You probably would have been like,
Yeah.
So like, do you find it easier now?
I do.
Like, does it just like roll?
Because people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is amazing.
yeah.
Well, I think
That's trippy.
like I said, we're still, even if we're positive about it, it's still like it's not like we're perfect and always thinking it's awesome. You always have to work on it.
Yeah.
And it's a constant reminder to yourself. So I don't know.
Exactly.
The
Yeah.
more you say it, the less it sounds like.
Yeah.
We still have like some publicists that we work with directly who, because I'm the food editor for Toronto is Awesome as well, and they know that we have Fat Girl Food Squad, but they specifically will like not say the name Fat Girl
They're
Food
like,
Are they
it's a blog.
They
you
have
write
their
for.
own blog. They'll be like, they write for Toronto and photograph for Toronto is Awesome, and they have their own blog. And period. Moving on. Like,
Period.
Are they,
Dot
afra-
com,
are they afraid
done.
of? Are they afraid of offending you by using your blog name?
Well, they shouldn't because that's ridiculous.
Well, maybe yeah,
Yeah,
we're offending
but it's
people.
funny because we'll be like, let's say we're in a group of our own peers, like other bloggers that we know. They all know what the blog is called.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
You
understand.
named it yourself, so obviously you're fine. with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that at a certain point, and like I know that as much as I am occasionally, like, you know, stuff happens, everyone has their moments of insecurity. I also love introducing myself as Fat Girl Food Squad because I
That element of
love
shock.
people's faces when you're like, oh yeah, no, I write for Fat Girl Food Squad, and there's like a moment where they're like, sorry, what? And I'm like,
There's either
Fat Girl
like,
Food Squad.
Done.
You heard me.
Either like, oh, or oh, it's
Yeah.
you.
And also, I think that people who haven't heard about it and you say, I write for
memorable.
Fat Girl Food Squad, some people get really excited about it and they're like, sorry,
What
you
does that
write for a
mean?
thing called Fat Girl Food Squad?
I think
that sounds fucking awesome.
I think the best reaction we got was the chef, his parents, when we met them.
Oh yeah.
And his dad was just like, oh, that's the best name ever. And his
He
dad
sat us down and started talking to us.
Yeah.
It's this like little like Bangladeshi guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
He had to be like, what,
Like,
60s?
Yeah,
That's
he's
amazing.
like, I
He was in
love
his
it.
60s and he was so stoked.
He was like inviting us to his son. His son is the chef, inviting us to his son's
Cool.
events and stuff.
Yeah, he was like pimping out.
I invited these girls.
They're called Fat Girl Food Squad. And he ended up like using your photo for a whole bunch of stuff. So
Well, yeah, I think just the name of it is kind
Yeah.
of like it says what it is, and it's also kind of irreverent in itself. So it's like,
Yeah. It's also incredibly memorable.
Yeah,
like when
memorable,
you
yeah.
say it, people don't forget it, which is
Well, and even
that's
if they,
intended.
honestly, even if they only remember the words fat girl, I think we're good.
Fat girl blog.
Because there's only so many fat girl food blogs. So if they remember the words fat girl, we're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You type in fat girl blog.
Well,
Give
I
it a
don't know
try.
about that.
But if you typed in like fat girl food blog, I think
Yeah.
it'll probably come
Yeah.
up pretty fast.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting.
Oh wait, yeah, when we like check search terms, there's a lot of interesting.
What was the one that I?
Uh,
It was large women pleasuring each other was the second highest hit.
Yeah.
They're not wrong.
And it's like above porn.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's like Cronuts.
Not entirely,
Yeah.
not entirely inaccurate.
pleasuring each other by eating food.
Yeah. And I saw it.
Talking about what they had for dinner.
Because I was going through the stats and I was like, holy shit, Yuli, we're above porn.
Yeah.
That's like a thing.
That is some
you get
SEO
above
Google
porn.
Analytics like magic right
Yeah,
there.
you can never get above porn. So the fact that we're
beat
above porn,
Wow.
shit.
True. especially honestly, especially like fetish porn. Like, too specific.
I'm honestly surprised that we haven't gotten more.
Creepers?
There was that one guy the other week
Yeah.
who was like going through every picture.
We swiftly
and-
squashed that.
That was one of the things we got asked on the radio actually was how we're dealing with it, and we don't have an answer.
We were like, we don't know.
You don't.
It's part it comes with. But also it comes with.
but it
if
comes-
you're trying to
We're waiting for it.
If you're trying
Yeah.
to normalize something, you'll always have someone who takes it that much too far. But
Yeah.
that's human. I think that's human nature.
And I mean,
It's
I
hard
think you
to-
just block them and then
you move
Move
on.
Move
on.
on.
You show
Yeah.
that it's like it's not acceptable. You won't tolerate it, and then you go on to the next.
You're also that's never the person whose mind you're gonna change either.
Yeah.
No.
Like there's no point in arguing about like not fetishizing size and like fetishizing women
Not
and
with that- not
sexualizing
with
size
that
in
guy,
women.
at
You
least.
can't
Yeah.
argue with that dude.
Yeah.
That dude
No.
has decided what he likes in life and that's where he's going.
Yeah, and I mean,
There's nothing in itself also wrong with that. If you want to be it to be a kink, it's just that that's not our purpose.
Point, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like be that, but by the way, that's not what we're
Yeah.
doing. But
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
yeah.
your kink is not mine. Or is it?
It's debatable whether
I know we're the highest search term for
I don't know.
plus size pleasuring themselves. Is
I don't
that
know,
it? But
large
like
ladies pleasuring themselves.
something. But that's not
seriously that's
us.
what we came up as the first hate for?
We were below an actual porn site.
No, we were the top.
Oh, were we?
Yeah.
We're on top.
I looked at it, and Simon and I went and like actually Googled it. We were like,
We were
what?
on top.
Yeah, we were on top.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
It's like
So funny.
this explains so much.
Unexpected results.
Yeah. Oh wait, are we? Does anybody know if we've hit 1,000 yet? I know when I last
No.
Let's go see.
Yeah, I know when
This
I
could be
last.
the big moment.
Just a
on
second.
yeah.
On film.
Yeah, we were like.
I'll check out
I think we're very close. So,
We're so close.
possibly.
Oh, 978.
I could drink a billion cups of this. It's so good. The fact that I'm drinking it black.
Yeah.
I don't think we have anything else. Should we say
Goodbye.
This has been Cawfee Talk.
Coffee talk.
I actually drank coffee this time.
I did too.
yeah, haters. There was coffee. We drank it. Look how much coffee we drank. It's gone.
Alright, let's get out of the sauna.
Yeah. We did it.
That was fun.
Somebody's talking to us.
Who-